Connie, one of the many things that brought me to you was your writings on call reluctance and emotional intelligence. And would you take a second and give us kind of that 20,000 foot view of call reluctance and how emotional intelligence plays into that?
Yes. Well, car reluctance is the emotional hesitation to prospect and self promote. So it's like when that recruiter is reaching for the phone, ready to punch in those numbers, and they stop and they go back to LinkedIn and they go back doing some more research and they're hesitating from making the contact. So that's what car reluctance is. And the way that emotional intelligence plays in there is the emotional intelligence is the ability to handle your feelings. That's the major component of emotional intelligence. And then the second component is the ability the way that people communicate with themselves. So think about a recruiter that is just having one of those days where they're just not feeling up to par and consistent. So they're reaching for the phone, so they find something else to do, and then they go ahead and make a few calls, they get a few voicemails, and they start saying to themselves, you know what, this just doesn't work. I'm just getting voicemails. And so they get really frustrated. So emotional intelligence is the ability to handle their feelings no matter what.
What are some of the steps that one would take to overcome that, Connie?
Well, the first step is to admit that they have call reluctance. Admit, I'm not making enough calls consistently. Okay, so that's the first step. And then to write down exactly what they're thinking when they start to hesitate, to identify it. And so a lot of times it's hard for people to do that. But you know what? That's the only way if you identify what is it. So sometimes people write down, oh, they're already working with another recruiter. This isn't going to work. Or they go into these mental gyrations that are actually sandbagging their success.
Excellent. Well, Connie, thank you so much for the clarification, the insights, and wisdom. And I would hope everybody that is looking at this goes back to your website and gets to know you just a little bit better.
Yes, and in closing, sales call reluctance is nothing to be embarrassed about. Living with it needlessly is.